Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and it's Griffin at it again with another video. And today we're going to be breaking down our Florida trip. Was it Wednesday and Thursday? Wasn't a whole lot of work put into uploading videos. I just did some off-road POVs because we were sitting down planning this trip for Florida. The Disney part of the trip was probably the most extensive part and probably the most completely insane because I've never been to Disney World personally, and it's something that I definitely want for my kids, and so we knew it was something we wanted to do and that we were going to do, but the amount of planning that had to go into it was pretty extensive to the point that I was like stressing out about it. But we finally sat down and got everything finalized this morning. So I figured we'd do a breakdown of the trip. Now, I might want to mention that the trip is 6 months away, but it's a pretty expensive and pretty lucrative trip. So we're going to go ahead and break it down. Just pretty much it's for families and people around that are, curious as to, what all goes into something like this. And we're going to go over prices and stuff that we're paying out of pocket and all that good stuff. First things first, we'll be leaving on June the 11th. June the 11th is a Friday. It's approximately exactly 6 months from today for another 20 minutes, and then it'll be 5 months and 29 days. But we'll be leaving on June the 11th. We'll be driving to Shreveport, Louisiana, where we'll be catching a flight from Shreveport to Tampa, Florida. It's about a 5-hour flight. We've got an hour layover in Houston, Texas, and where we'll fly from Houston to Tampa. Once we get to Tampa, we have a rent-a-car that we're going to be getting, which we will drive to the hotel there in Tampa, where we'll be staying 2 nights. We'll be staying there Friday night and Saturday night. After that, Sunday morning, we'll wake up and drive an hour away to Orlando, Florida, where we will be spending pretty much the rest of our stay there. We'll drive straight to SeaWorld, Orlando, where we'll spend 2 days there. We'll spend Sunday and Monday there. We want to spend 2 days in SeaWorld because it's the one place that Asher has the most fun with the safari and the animals and the rides. And there's some hyper coasters there that I want to go ahead and scoop up and get the credits for since we're already going to be there. So those are really, it'll be a really fun time. We'll be able to get lots of video since we're going to be there for 2 days. Saturday, we're going to be at Busch Gardens in Tampa, so not really sure how much fun he's going to have in Busch Gardens because we've never been. I've never been personally, so I'm not exactly sure. But we know they've got, after the research, they've got plenty of kid rides and plenty of kid stuff for him to do there. We are going to have an hour of ERT time on Iron Gawazi, the new RMC that's opening next year. So we should be able to get some on-ride POVs of that ride, and we're going to try to get as much video footage during that time. There's only 8 or 9 roller coasters there, so being the fact that they're open 10, 11 hours, what we're probably going to do is ride all the roller coasters there and then hang out with some people, some other enthusiasts that are also going to be there, and then get ride videos the entire time, the rest of the time while we're there, because we're obviously not going to be going back for a long time. After the 2 days in Orlando, should be the 15th of June, we'll be heading back to Orlando Airport, where we'll return the rent-a-car, and we'll be catching the Disney Express out to our Disney World Resort. Now, there was a lot of speculation between different people talking about whether or not we should stay on Disney property or we should stay in a hotel in Orlando. Price wise, we were wanting to stay in a hotel in Orlando because we could get one definitely a lot cheaper. Well, let me explain this to you. You can get an average hotel in Orlando for about $45 to $50 a night. Sometimes a little bit higher, sometimes a little bit lower, just depending on where you're looking and where you're shopping at. But the hotel price isn't what really gets you. Okay, when you stay at a Disney resort, the one we're staying at, it's called the Disney All-Star Movies Resort. It's a straightforward, standard room, decked out in Mickey Mouse. Not a big deal. This room charges $171 a night. Okay, $171 a night. That's how much I pay for a hotel for an entire weekend, much less paying for it for one night. So we're paying $171 a night for 7 nights. You do the math. That's roughly $900 on just the resort. The reason why we went with this resort is because of all of the amenities and everything else that you get while you're on property. For example, they cover 100% of your transportations from your hotel to whatever park you're going to be going to. When people think of Disney World, they think of Disney World as this really, really big place. It is a really, really, really big place, but it's broken down into multiple places. Disney World is not just one park. It's like 4 different parks on a big, big environment. So you've got Hollywood Studios, which is one park. You've got Magic Kingdom, which is another park. You've got Epcot, which is another park. And then you've got Animal Kingdom. There are 4 different parks in that area. And based with the social distancing and everything that's going on with the pandemic, they're not allowing park hoppers, which would originally allow you to visit multiple parks in a day. So as of this point now, it's just cheaper anyway to get 1 park per day admission for each day. We did our research and we realized that he's going to have the most fun at Magic Kingdom because of his age, because of the rides, because of the shows, because of everything that's going on. As of this point in December in 2020, they are not doing fireworks spectaculars or fireworks shows. They are testing fireworks, randomly popping them off at night. They're not charging for it, but it's nothing crazy. So we do believe that in 2021, they're going to be bringing the fireworks shows back. We've put that in the budget to be able to reserve that for 3 different days because we'll be going to Magic Kingdom on 3 days, and we're going to split it up in that 7-day period. So for each day we go to Magic Kingdom, there's going to be a fireworks show. After the park closes, we're going to stay for the fireworks show because it's an amazing show. It always is. Definitely don't want to miss out on it. Next was our theme park tickets. After we looked into our resort, we wanted to think about our theme park tickets. How many days were we actually going to spend in the park? Are we going to want to spend a day to relax? What's going to happen with that? We realized that Hollywood Studios is really something that's really not up his alley based on his age and what he can do. Most of the stuff there is mainly just shows. You've got the Star Wars universe that's there. You've got the Rise of the Resistance ride, Rock and Roller Coaster, and stuff like that. All of those things are stuff that he really can't participate in. The only thing, there's the Mickey Mouse train ride and a couple other small kid rides that he'll be able to enjoy. So it was something that I felt like would not be able to waste an entire day there doing so. So what we're going to do is the first day we get to the park, first day we get on property, we're going to check into our resort, get everything packed away, get everything situated, and then we're going to make our way to Hollywood Studios for the rest of the day, which will probably only be like half a day. But I feel like spending half a day at Hollywood Studios really isn't a waste of time because we originally just wasn't going to go at all. So we're just going to spend a half a day at Hollywood Studios on the first day. The second day, we're probably going to make our way over to Magic Kingdom, and we'll be there all day. We're looking at the 16th right now. 16th will be at Magic Kingdom. 17th, we'll be going to Epcot. So we can have plenty of rides and plenty of stuff to do there. We'll be rider swapping on some of the adult rides there. It's actually completely amazing of the ride selection here, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. The 17th, we'll be going to Animal Kingdom. The 18th, we'll go back to Magic Kingdom. Then we'll do Epcot one more day, and then Magic Kingdom again to close it out. When we started looking at Disney World as a whole, we didn't really understand. We didn't really know anything about Disney World until we started doing research and we started looking in on it. We started doing a little bit of research, bare minimum of research, before we brought the idea to his mom, because I wasn't going to plan all of this if I didn't have her blessing, because I wanted her to be able to agree to it, and before I actually did anything hardcore with it. And I brought it to her attention, told her I wanted to take them. She said, okay. So after that, that's when we started planning for it. The rides at Disney World, when y'all go to Six Flags, we look at the kid rides ratio versus the adult rides ratio. Obviously, there's going to be more adult rides than kid rides there. But given the situation, that the fact that it's Disney World, there's more kid rides there than there are adult rides. When I look at Magic Kingdom and I look at what rides can he not ride, and I can probably count them on one hand. And they're the big rides. They're like the Mine Train. There's Space Mountain he can't ride, Rock and Roller Coaster, other stuff like that. But a lot of these rides, these Universal Studios type rides, where like the Buzz Lightyear ride, the Spin Buzz Lightyear ride, he can ride. He can sit in my lap while we're riding it, and we can ride all three of it together. All three of us can ride together. All of these rides that are like 3D, that he can have fun and interact, like Frozen Ever After, the Mickey Mouse ride, all that stuff he can ride with us. On top of the plane rides, the Dumbo ride, the Aladdin's carpet ride, all of this stuff he can enjoy and he can ride. So if you want to think about it correctly, he's going to be having more fun than we are, because he's going to be riding a lot more than we are. And that's the whole idea of taking him, is so that way we can share that experience with him. Now, he's really not going to remember going. So everyone said, well, if he's not going to remember going, why are you taking him? We're taking him when he's at this age. One, because he's free to fly. Okay? Doesn't cost anything for him to fly. Two, because we get to share the opportunity and the moment with him, and we get to see his reaction to this stuff. And that's a lot of the reasons why we do it, because we want to see his reaction. We want him to experience it. And if we make this kind of a consistent thing, then he'll probably remember it by looking at pictures and stuff at a later date. But he's going to have fun, because like we're going to Six Flags tomorrow, so he's going to have fun there. And all he likes to do is he just likes to go and have fun. This kid has been going to theme parks since he was 3-4 months old. This kid, he is definitely not a stranger to theme parks and amusement parks. And he is definitely not afraid of heights. That's a fact. So, tickets. Let me explain to you how the ticket system works. Six Flags around the country have a set price on their tickets. Usually between $60 and $80 a ticket, depending on the park or whatever. A lot of times they're about $79.99 if you want to buy a straight pass without getting discounts and anything like that. Disney World's prices on their tickets, they vary, they change each season. I can buy a ticket right now around Christmas time and compare the ticket price between the summer, and it'll be two different ticket prices. They base their ticket prices based on what they predict will be the cost of how many people are going to be in the park, how many people are actually going to come. The more people that are going to be there, the higher the ticket prices are going to be. The most busiest time of the year at Disney World is going to be during Christmas time, around the holiday time. This time of the year, it's pretty crazy. Summertime gets pretty crazy, but not like this. So the summer prices, which is why we chose it, because of the time of the year, They're roughly about $135 a piece. He doesn't have to pay for tickets for himself because he's under 3 years old. So his tickets are free. This year and next year, they'll be free. But for us, we have to pay $135 a ticket a day. So we're staying there for 7 days. Do the math. It's pretty expensive. They do have annual passes, but the annual pass amount does not equal up to the amount that we would pay. It's not cheaper than what we would pay just outright buying our tickets. And it's not like we're going to go again this year anytime soon because of how expensive it is and how much money we're having to shell out for it. So it's really not something I think we really want to do again this year. So that's why we kind of didn't want to look into the annual passes. One of the things that we wanted to do when we were thinking about our tickets is we wanted to make sure that we were actually going to be able to do all of these things. Some people talked about taking a day to kind of just, chill out and do all that. But we're going to have plenty of downtime in between parks. I do believe one day, I think we're doing like half a day at Animal Kingdom. And then we're going to just go back and just chill at the hotel. Or maybe the one day we get there, once we get into the resort, we may just scrap Hollywood Studios and just, walk around Disney and, view the sights and look at everything, see how everything's going, get a good video of, just kind of the resorts and kind of just sightsee while we're there. Because this is my first time there. This is Megan's first time there. And obviously it's Asher's first time there. So we're really, really excited to be there. So we want to kind of just do all that we can with the little bit of time that we have. The next thing that we want to talk about is the Memory Maker. Let me explain what the Memory Maker is. The Memory Maker it's kind of like your photo pass. At Six Flags Over Texas and Fiesta Texas, I have a season photo pass for both parks. This is so that way we can get pictures done every time we go. The ride photos, I get those, and they don't cost me anything. When you do this at Disney World, you definitely want to get this because if you're like me and you got a family and you're going once a year, you kind of want to capture the moment that you can with as much as you can. These are professional photographers that are walking around taking your picture. So we're assuming that the character meetups will be enabled around that time in the next 6 months with the new vaccination coming out and everything. So we definitely want to get pictures with him seeing Mickey Mouse, which is his number one. Mickey Mouse and Jack Skellington are his two favorite characters ever. So him seeing Mickey Mouse and being able to interact with him and see him in person is going to be something that we definitely want to capture. So definitely get the Memory Maker. If you're like me and you're planning ahead for this trip, get the one that costs you about $169. You can get it before you go to the park. We already got it, and there's like a 3-day wait, but you got 6 months from now, so it's not a big deal. It'll be active, and you can get unlimited downloads of all the pictures that are taken. So if you tell the photographer you want 20 pictures with Mickey Mouse, they'll take all 20, they'll upload them, and you can download them at the end of the day. So that's something that we're probably going to do. We're probably going to get lots and lots and lots of professional photos done. We're going to take advantage of it. We're going to try to get more than $170 worth of photos taken. So that's how that works. Transportation. I think after flights and rent-a-cars, I think we totaled it out to be about $900 for our flights. We got a flight through Travelocity. For all three of us, it was like $555 for all three of us. So it's not too bad considering. And he'll be a lap child, so he just sit in my lap. It's his first flight, so we kind of just want to play it by ear. Rent-a-car fee was a little bit expensive. We're going to shop around some more to see if we can get some cheaper between now and then. As of right now, for the 4 days we'll be using the rent-a-car, it's like $300. So we're trying to find something cheaper. So if you guys know of any cheaper flights and cheaper rent-a-car places or anything like that, please let me know in the comments, so that way that'll definitely help us out a lot. After that, like I said, we had the hotels for 4 days in Orlando and Tampa prior to Disney, and I think that came out to be like it was roughly about $400. Um, so I think overall we're spending about 4 grand on this trip. It's pretty extensive, and if you're like me and you're asking how the hell do you pay for, nobody has that much money up front. What Disney does is they have a deposit system. You pay a deposit, which is a percentage of what you owe, and then that will hold your room for you. It'll hold your room, it'll hold your reservations for which parks, which days, and all that stuff. And you can pay on it as you will, but you have to have it paid off at least a month before you're supposed to arrive for your first day. If you need another week or so, just call them and talk to them. They've always been very flexible with stuff like that. So just call and let them know that, you need an extra week, blah, blah, blah. It'll be paid off. And I'm pretty sure they're going to work with you on it. But yeah, that's the breakdown, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a lot. And I guarantee you, I don't mind flying. I'm not a big fan of it because it's quicker, yes, but it's just the headache of being in the airport is insane. It's the definition of insanity is being inside a large airport. I've been in DFW, Chicago O'Hare, St. Louis Airport, and every single time that there's checked bags problems, it's annoying and it's crazy. And then everybody wants, some people say, I don't like layovers. I like to get off one plane and get straight on the other. But traveling with a baby, it's not like that. We definitely wanted to welcome the layover because it gives us a little more leeway in case something goes wrong. If we're walking through the airport and Asher has he takes a big ginormous shit, and we've got to stop and change him, or he just has a blowout in his pull up or whatever, and we have to change his clothes. It gives us time to do that, and it gives us time to adjust. And I think we have like at least a 2-hour layover in Houston, and the same way coming back. So we are not checking any bags. We are not checking bags, none whatsoever. I'm not doing that. I did that when I was in the military and when I was at Chicago O'Hare, and I know the military was paying for the check bag, but dude, that's insanity because I got off the flight at Chicago and then I was going to catch a flight from Chicago to Dallas. So the freaking baggage carrier was on one side of the airport and then my gate was on the other side of the airport. My gate that I got off the plane off when I arrived from St. Louis to Chicago, the gate to go to freaking Dallas was literally 2 steps away from me. But I had to walk clear on the other side of the airport to grab one bag and then walk all the way back, which took me about 35 to 40 minutes to do it. So after thinking about that and thinking about technology the way that it is now, we are not going to be checking any bags whatsoever. Baby strollers are free, so we're taking that. We're not taking the pack and play because I'm not paying $30, $45 to put a pack and play underneath it just to have it get squished and have it messed up. No, thank you. So we're coming up with plans and different alternatives for sleeping arrangements while we're there. I think what we're actually going to end up doing is buying a pack and play in Tampa and then just donating it afterwards. Or buying something where he can sleep in while we're there, take it with us, and then kind of just, donating it to a charity before we come home. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. It's a crazy trip, and first of the year it'll be go time, man. We got a trip coming up tomorrow to Six Flags, and then we got our winter vacation in a couple of weeks, and then after that. It's go time. As soon as 2021 starts, it's going to be go time. We're going to be working some overtime. We're going to be doing a lot of those short little videos to kind of keep up with everything with one upload per day. And we're going to try to stay on top of it. I'm uploading this video today because I'm not going to upload one tomorrow because of our trip. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it. That's going to cover it for this one. Let me know in the comments if you guys know of anything that can, help to save us a little bit of money on this trip, because like I said, it's spending about $4,000 on the trip. Any criticism or any ideas that you guys have that could probably potentially save money, or some tactics that you guys use to save money on these long trips or Disney trips in general, just let me know in the comments. That's going to do it for this one. If you're not already, please hit the subscribe button, as it helps me out a lot and it helps the channel grow. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. Bye. All right.